Well, hello there, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it is January 28th, 2026, and it's Wednesday. Time for our card making lesson this week, and I'm so glad to be here with you. I spent 5 days last week at Stamp Camp, and I had so much fun playing with the new stamp sets that we have in the mini catalog. And I absolutely fell in love with the stamp set that I'm going to share with you today. So let me just double check the volume here. Okay. And you can see my desktop. And also, I'll just remind you who you are, where you're watching from. And for some reason, it doesn't want to flip down to that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and on Facebook, you can use the comments. And on YouTube, you can also use the comments, but you have to be signed into your YouTube and Google account. Those are the same thing. And then I will be able to see your comments as well. So this is the mini catalog and is page 68. And this stamp set is called Aspen Grove. Now, the thing that really, I guess, interested me with this were the different types of birch trees and the fact that there were a number of them. So one of the really cool things with this is you can use all of these on a card. You can use one of these on a card or anywhere in between. And then there's different kind of leaf patterns. There's additional branches you can add. And I really thought, wow, I like this. And this was across the page from sentiments that I really like called Prayers and Promises. And I thought these two things would really go together well for sympathy cards too. So let's see, let's go ahead and get started. And since there are no sentiments with this set, I've decided to use this stamp set called Sweetly Scripted. I just love these with the lines. And I'll tell you, I have a number of friends right now that are getting hips replaced, knees replaced, all kinds of things. So I'm going to do a speedy recovery card today. Let's see what else I have to share with you as an intro here. Hi, Kim and Kathy. Thanks for joining me, ladies. I'm going to move this out of the way and let's bring in our stamp set. I have to tell you, I'm still trying to learn the best way to store these stamp sets. So what I did before I took the original stamp set off the hard window sheet is I stamped it with the tuxedo black ink. But for the first time, I actually ripped this paper because I'm considering whether or not I should put that window sheet right on here and you know, glue it down and then put the more flimsy sticks with us here. Oh my goodness, and it's chilly down by you, Kathy. It's below zero here with the wind chill, and it has been for over a week. So I'm ready for some warm weather for sure. Okay, so the other thing that I decided to do, since this was so many different branches or tree trunks, I wanted to be able to manage them all at the same time. And I also wanted to be able to make a number of card fronts that match so I can make a gift set of cards. And so I wanted to use the Stamparatus, which is our older stamp positioning device. Now, if you watch what's going on with Stampin' Up! Online, you know they are bringing out a new stamp positioning device. It's going to be part of a promotion next month. Anybody that wants to join Stampin' Up! Could be a member of the Plum Crazy Stamping team. You would get the new stamp positioning device as well as additional product for free when you join Stampin' Up! So I thought I would just remind you what the benefits of a stamp positioning device are. And also, I want to share with you, if you aren't interested in a stamp positioning device, how you can make multiple images and just stamp once to use something that has multiple images on it. And that would be to use our largest acrylic block. And I would put all of these on here, and then I would just stamp over and over. The thing is, if the ink doesn't take on one of the tree trunks, you're going to have to just line it up again to press it. That's one of the benefits of the stamp positioning device. You just ink it up and do it again, and it goes in exactly the same place. So, all right, we're going to do the stamp positioning device. And so I'm going to just slide these down here, bring in my Stamparatus. Now, this is the one that Stampin' Up! Does not sell anymore, but the concept is the same. So I just wanted to be able to show this to you, have you be thinking about this, and know this opportunity is going to be coming. So, hi, Patricia. Nice to see you from California. Oh, girl, I wish I had a little of your weather there. Anyway, so what I did is I took a, let me see if this is a card front size. I believe it is. So this is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I've centered it a little bit away from the edges because then I'll get my best image. And I've used the magnets that I've put washi tape on to hold down the card front. And I'll tell you, when I was doing this at Stamp Camp, I had one of these magnets had washi tape on, and the other one did not. It's really hard to move around these magnets when you don't put something that you can pick up and move them with. So if I were you, I would add washi tape to your magnets if you have this or any other stamp positioning device. All right, so what I'm going to do is my whole card front, I want to be birch trees all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and start lining these up. And little lint on there. No, that tore off of there too. I am going to have to fix my approach of what I'm doing here. Where is my, here's my chamois. I got to wash this off. I had not had this happen with the other ones I did. I don't know if I stuck these on here too quickly after I stamped it or what. But anyway, all right, let's get our first tree on here and press that down. Now I'm putting the oh wait, I got to do it the other way. I have to put the flat side up and the part that is going to stamp the image down towards the paper. All right, and then I'm going to take, let's see, this next one. I'm going to be really careful tearing this off of here because now I've ripped it twice. All right, and we're going to put this one next to this tree, giving it just a little distance. Okay. And then I'm going to do, I think I'll do the more bare tree here next. Oop, and there it goes, ripping again. Well, now you know what not to do. And let me just make sure that I clean that all off before I try to stamp with it. And I'm just drying it off after I wash it off with my chamois. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here in the middle. All right. And then let's see, which tree do I want to take? I think I'll take this thicker one again. Now this has got me kind of worried. I hope I don't rip off any more of it. Okay, there. And put this one right here. And now a thin one again. Well, these are kind of fun. Now, what I haven't done yet is like done a clump of birches, like 2 or 3 yet. That'll have to be on my project list. Okay. Got that one. And then I'm going to take this last thick one and put on the edge. Okay. All right, so I've got them all going, vertical here. All right, I'm not going to add any branches at this point, and I've already taken the leaves and mounted them on 3 different blocks. But what we're going to do first is the trunks, and I'm going to do them in black. So let's go ahead and first I'm going to put my stamp positioning device. Now I know this looks like an air hockey puck, but it's something that I bought, I don't know, online somewhere. Just kind of smooth this all down. Okay, and then I'm going to carefully pick this up. There we go. And this moved just a little bit. Now I got to fix it. And don't ever put your magnets together. When they come together, if you accidentally have them do that, they might go together very hard and actually break. And so you don't want to have that happen. All right, I've got this back where I want it. I'm using my grid lines of the paper here to line that up. And now I'm just going to ink up my images over here. So let me pull them this way so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, and I'm just going to take the ink to the stamps. And as I said, this is my Memento Tuxedo Black. I am going to use a Stampin' Blend to make some shadows on here. So that's why I thought I would use this so it doesn't run with using the Stampin' Blends. Okay, so let's just set this to the side and let's do the magic of the stamp positioner and put it down. And then I just press it in place, and I'm going to take my little thing, and you can use your hands. You can use another acrylic block. Some people just use, a cloth. So I'm just going to kind of go up every image. There. All right. Let's see how that turned out. Ooh, look at this one. So let me put a little more ink on there. Oh boy, and I got some on the plate here, so I'm going to wipe that off. It may be that I built up my magnet quite a bit with the washi tape. Let me just move that, and I bet you that will make a difference in how this transfers. Oh yeah, big difference. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. So now to make another image like this, I am just going to take another card and I line it up using the grid lines again. I'm just going to use one magnet this time. and ink this up again. So this is nice when you want to do the same stamping. So let's say you're making Christmas cards, you're making invitations for something, and you're using all the same design. This makes it really easy without having to guess to get that perfect alignment. So that is a big benefit of this. Okay, there we go. And so there would be my next card. So I think you get the idea. And I'm going to just set this off to the side here. The other thing that this stamp positioning device does, and that the other one that is coming out will do, is it has hinges. So if you wanted to repeat a design that was smaller than this, you actually just move these hinges down. Oh, in this case, you'd have to move them up. And you can stamp again and do things perfectly in alignment. So that's another benefit of a stamp positioning tool. All right. So I'm going to move these magnets way far apart from each other so they don't go right. All right. Let's go ahead now and do the leaves for this. And what I really loved with this was 3 colors of green. So I'm doing granny apple green. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kelly. Glad you can join me here. And then I'm going to do old olive. And then I'm going to do garden green. All right. And I'm going to take the largest leaf pile here, or bunch of leaves. And there's part of this that's going to look just like a background with a little less definition to all of the leaves. And I'm looking at seeing where the smaller ends of the leaves are. They're this way. Okay, so I'm going to start, like I said, with granny apple green. And because this is a photopolymer set, I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat. And, geez, I wanted a little, let's see, I'm just going to use the back side of this for now. Because I will be going over the edge and I just don't want to get it all over my Pierce mat. Okay, so anyway, ink up my stamp here and just start stamping in the granny apple green. I might stamp off a little, and I'm just going to get a background kind of for these leaves with the granny apple and go across all these trees. Like I said, I'm going all the way across, making this. And this got to be so much fun, you guys. I found myself, I made a whole set of cards because I was having just too much fun to stop. Since this is a little bit less of a tree, I'm going to actually have a little fewer leaves in the middle here. Some of these they're very, heavy and more branches. Well, I'll put a little more leaves in those areas. And no right or wrong. And after you do this a little while, if you want to come back and add more leaves of the same color, you can, because I'm not going to clean this off in between. Let's see. Do I like how I've done that? Just one lower one there. All right, so I'm going to let that go to the side. Now I'm going to do the middle one, and I'm going to use the middle color green that I have, the old olive, and just start and do some stamping off. Now this would really probably, if you wanted to do this all as a fall look, I think doing this in oranges and the yellows and then piling them all on the ground too would be just extremely pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the darkest green here with garden green and add a few more with this smaller one. All right, I think I like the way that's looking. All right, so that's our treetops. All right, so let me just close these. And I'm just going to slide those out of my way a little bit. All right, let me set those off to the side here. And now what I want to do is make the actual card front here. I decided that I liked the middle green, so I'm going to use Old Olive. So this is just my regular size cardstock. 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to go ahead and before I glue this down, I actually want to wrap some. Let's see, this is the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and I'm liking a little bit darker neutral color here. So let's go ahead and pull this off. And I'm going to go to the side and make a bow because I'm going to put a sentiment right here. So I'm just going to leave myself a little bit of a tail here so I have enough to make a bow. And I'm going to wrap this around. And then just grab this end with my thumb too and make another longer tail so that I have enough string to make the bow. Okay. Let me move this up a little bit. So I'm just going to tuck this underneath. And as I said, I want this off to the side. I'm going to be able to slide it down here because I want it towards the bottom because I am going to have the sentiment go over part of this, okay? And then, you know, this is where you wish you had 3 hands, right? So I'm going to just hold this in place and do a loop and another loop and pull it through. Okay. And then I can adjust my loops by just pulling gently. All right. So this is about the height of where I want the sentiment, but I'm not going to glue anything down till I get the sentiment on here. So what I've taken now is just another piece of Old Olive, and this is 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. So I'll put that here, and then I'm going to continue to do the tuxedo black here. And let's see, here is my stamp for my sentiment. I'm going to bring my ink once again to the stamp. Okay. And then I can center this on the area that I've cut here on the label and just press straight down and across. And there we've got our sentiment. You know, it got a little dark on that one end. Let me try it again. See if I can get a better even ink coverage. Upside down. It's trying to keep the same pressure as you go from right across it. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let me get that out of the way. All right, now before I do this, I did forget to put my detail on here. So let me go ahead and use my Stampin' Blend here on these trunks. I'll just be able to move the string a little bit to do this. And while I was making these birch trees, I figured out that I need to reorder my Stampin' Blend because it's drying out here. And I'm just shading along the side of the tree trunk. So I'm going to do that on all of the trees. And you'll see that it really makes a difference. I'm even going up in the leaves. So you can do this if you want to before you do the leaves, or you can do it after. Kind of like the shadow effect. And a little bit, you know, extra here and there for these thicker trunks. Yeah, maybe even a little bit on there. So I think you can see adding that detail really makes a difference. And now this was crumb cake. I don't know that you'd want to go lighter than that, or I mean darker than that. And this is light crumb cake that I used to make that. And then I'm going to pop this up and tuck it right underneath the bow here and use my dimensionals. So let me just grab. And I'm just going to put 3 across here because I'm actually going to set this right on that linen thread. So now's the time for me to commit to where this is going to be. Take the adhesive off here. And line this up. Now I'm not going to absolutely center this. It's going to be off to the side a little bit, but I like the bow on the side. So there we have that with the bow. Now I did some of these with a knot. When I show you all the ones I made, you'll see that. And that's because I did the knot because I made the twine too small. I would make it a little longer so that you can do the bow. I think the bow looks a lot better on here. All right, now let's go ahead and glue this down on the card front. I am going to put the glue right along that twine so it kind of stays in place. And there we go, just centering that. I think these cards are just beautiful. Okay, so that's that card. Then just on the inside, based on what you have on the front, I would just pick any other stamp set that you have for an inside message, or leave it blank and you have plenty of room to write a message. And you could put one birch tree in there if you wanted to. Those are a number of options that would all be really nice with this card. Gotta slide that a little bit. All right, so there is the one card. And this is pretty fast too. So it was easy for me to go ahead and just make a number of these. But how would you like to be able to give your friend happy birthday, a million thanks, another million thanks, and then the speedy recovery, you know, and making a little cute box for this, or tying these together even with a ribbon would be gorgeous. So something that's very easy to do in a set, or just something that would look beautiful to send as a single card as well. So any questions about the stamp positioning device? So be watching for more information. That will be coming out and available to people. It's either February 2nd or the 3rd. And if you would like to join my Plum Crazy Stamping team, know that you would get that free, as well as some free products when you get a starter kit. And you can always call me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com to talk about that. And let's talk about what else is going on right now. So I can't believe we're almost ready to go into February. But I will remind you before that happens that you have a few days here of the Stampin' Up! Bonus Days promotion, where you earn $5 coupons for every $50 worth of Stampin' Up! Products that you purchase between now and February 2nd. And then during the month of February, you'll be able to cash in those $5 coupons off of your Stampin' Up! Order in March. Also, be reminded that the Fabulous Sayings, which is the product of the month for January, is still available. I did look online, and that is with a $75 order. You can get this, what would usually be about a $20 stamp set, for $5. It's a great deal. These are really nice sized sentiments, and something that you would be able to use over and over. And the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper from December, which was the first month we had the product of the month, is also still available. And the unique thing about the product of the month is each person can only have one of them. So once you get True Blue Florals, then you can't order any more. And same with the stamp set. So just FYI, at this point, those are still available. And the new one for February will come out probably the first Tuesday of the month. We'll know what that is. Also, if you were to put in a product order for $50 from me, you will get a free 4-card tutorial that I will email to you at the end of the month. And this is utilizing the Boho Vibes suite, but it will work with any paper that you have. It's all about designing your cards, and it gives you specific directions on how to do that. And you could just use different designer series paper and colors, but you would have 4-card designs. I know that one of our challenges is always coming up with new designs. And then I wanted to share with you a product that I'm going to spotlight during February. During Stamp Camp, I also fell in love with this. And it's called Lovely Blossoms Sweet Collection. And it has all of these sentiments, and then florals and leaf stamps. And then the bundle with it for dies are this... I don't know what you would call it, just I guess, has like open flowers plus this series of dots, which I think are kind of cool. It has 2 labels that work with different ones of the sentiments. There's additional leaves, and then you also can cut out the stamped flowers. And then also in this suite, there is designer series paper. and it's two-sided, so you can see what the different sides are. And then there is a mini corrugated embossing folder, which is really cool. I love that it's lined and dotted, which are cool. So during the month, I'm going to do a heat embossing class, and I will use at least one card for that class will come from this set. And then I'm going to do a fun fold class using this set, and we'll be making 3 fun folds. There will be a deal if you buy both of those classes, you'll get a discount on the second one. And then Stampin' Up! Is also going to do a class using this suite. And you can order the class, which is $25 from Stampin' Up! And you would need the lovely Blossoms Suite collection if you want to make the exact projects. And let's see if they give us more detail. And then they have a few extra things that you would need if you want to make things exactly as they are. One of them being that Baker's Twine Essentials pack that I showed you, the hole punch assortment. You know, the colors in this set are really beautiful. They are the, you know, I'm falling in love with Cloud Cover. One of the, you know, in colors, that's Cloud Cover. This is Petal Pink. It has Old Olive and Secret Sea, which is, you know, this color between Night of Navy and Black, which is just gorgeous. Let's see. I think those are the 4 colors that are in here. And yeah, so there's a lot going on, and it had run out just from demonstrators buying this, and it's early release, but it is back in stock. So once again, that's the lovely Blossoms Suite collection. And I think you could find so many uses for this. So I can't wait to be sharing that with you in February. So besides that, that's really what is coming on, in addition to in-person events that I'll be holding here in Madison, a kid event, a cards and cookies for Valentine's a week from Saturday. And let's see what else. Oh, an event at Adler's Restaurant on the west side of Madison. And I'm going to do things with that True Blue floral paper that you can only get one set of. I'm actually going to make card kits, and we're going to make 3 cards, and everything will be provided for you. So that's coming up on the 10th of February. So keep your eyes peeled. Those will be in my weekly email. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. So once again, I'm Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and you can contact me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And, you know, one thing I just remembered, if you're in the Facebook group, Card Conversations, and even if you're not, you can join it. I'm doing a card challenge this week, and it's to make your card with your favorite colors. Favorite color, favorite colors. And then everybody that posts a card, I'm going to put them in a drawing and actually send you a card kit with your favorite color supplies. So have some fun, get some stamping in, and share it with all of us. Once again, that's the Plum Crazy Stamping Card Conversations Facebook group. All right, friends, have a wonderful day and happy stamping. Bye-bye now. Hi, Diane. Glad you're here for the last part. Have a good day.